So the first thing you need to do is just start tracking, start measuring how much are you using, do you have any meters in place to track your consumption? And because when you start tracking, you will realize that there's scope for improvement and to make your consumption lower and so forth. So start tracking, start measuring things.
Hello everyone, my name is Shubhanshi Rathi and I welcome you to the IMA YouTube channel and the 4th edition of the IMA Women Leadership Conclave, celebrating women who are making leadership brighter, bolder and stronger together. You know, sometimes we meet people whose career seems like 3 different lives stitched together. And yet, when they tell the story, it all starts to make perfect sense. That's Rupal Khandelwal for you. She did her computer science and economics from Columbia. Then she built products at Google. And now she's rethinking how India consumes energy by heading strategy at Elspeth Limited. Rupal, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Let's start from your career trajectory. So you have been a part of one of the best institutions in the world. Then you went on to be a part of the best companies in the world, one of the best companies in the world. And now you're heading a very important sector in India, like a company in a very important sector in India.
Right.
So how has each of these shaped the strategies that you are today?
Yeah, wow. Thank you for that question. I think I'll start off with my college experience and how that has, helped me learn about strategy. So I'd say, like, going from high school to college, you have to be very strategic in how you present yourself as an applicant.
Right.
Because especially for US college admissions, because they really care about the narrative that you bring about. What is the storyline? Why should you come? What would you do to the campus? And that showed me a very the power of storytelling and narrative. That obviously got me to a very very good institution, Columbia. At Columbia, I felt like everything was strategic, whether it's, how you make your study plans to what are the kind of clubs that you join. There were certain professional organizations, certain social organizations. How do you spend your time? Because you know that time is like extremely limited. It's 4 years packed in kind of once in a lifetime sort of an opportunity. So there were a lot of kind of micro strategic decisions happening every single day. And at Google, my role was of product management. So, product management, you are basically a mini CEO of a product area.
Right.
I worked on YouTube Premium, for instance, and thinking about the strategy of how can you add value to your consumers, your users, premium subscribers. That was one of the things that my team worked on. And you have to think about it with a very long-term vision, right? And I think now that I'm at Elspec India, I'm getting to do a little bit of both, where I'm not thinking, within a specific part of a product in the company, but I can think about strategy from a company perspective, which is very unique, where, I can think about like where should this company go, in which direction next couple of years. And and yeah, I think all of these experiences make you a better thinker, I would say, more than a strategist. And I think though all of these experiences continue to make me a better thinker, leader, reader. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. When we talk about strategy, we think about frameworks, cases. It's a very loaded term that way.
Yeah.
But what we often forget to account is that strategy is also very messy, emotional, and high stakes.
Yeah.
So, with that, I want to ask you, what is one strategic decision that you had to make, a difficult one, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah. So, what is one strategic decision that I've had to make which has been a difficult one? Um, I think, well, for my career, one strategic decision that was a difficult one to make was actually coming to Indore and starting in a completely new field. Since I've had some background in consumer technology and the role of thinking about different kinds of like products. This is a very different world which is very unfamiliar to me. So, uh, it's something where it's dominated by electrical engineers, and I have a background in computer science and economics. So that was a very strategic decision. It took its own time. I explored a couple of career choices. And coming to this, I realized that the potential of the market was actually huge in this industry. And there's a lot of need for kind of young people, young blood to come in to make any impact in this kind of decarbonization climate story in India and kind of around the world. So, yeah, that's a very challenging strategic decision for my life personally. And I think so far it's going well, and I'm having a good time.
Great, great. Since you mentioned that, there is a certain bias that comes with being young in an industry like that, but there's another layer to it. It is also very much an industry that's still very male dominated. So how has that shaped your leadership style? Like, has it shaped it in a unique manner?
Yeah,
Others?
yeah. No, it's funny you say that because I think I'm mostly interacting with men, and other men who care for me, they tell me that I have to be like louder, I have to be more rude, I cannot be,
Wow.
so kind, and sometimes I get the feedback that I'm too soft. But that is who I am, and that is, the person that I am. I am an empathetic person, and I cannot change that quality about myself. And I feel like, if anything, that helps me become a better leader. But one thing I have learned in this kind of, especially in the context of India and being at LSPEC, is that sometimes you have to know how to be extremely firm, and you have to and not be the kindest, and a lot of the cultural nuances that work in America do not work in India. And there's no
Work-life balance.
not work life balance. I would say, like, there's a lot of politeness in the American work culture.
Right.
I think in India, not so much. Not so much. I think people are very direct. They're very straightforward. There's no corporate lingo or jargon that you're like skirting around. So that's something I'm learning. I'm learning how to be more assertive. And yeah, I think that helps in an email dominated fields.
It's sad that we speak about it that way. Yeah, but do you think in India business is ruthless?
I think in India, business, and this is my first, I'll be honest, this is my first taste of business in India. I think in India, business is extremely challenging because there are a lot of different kinds of issues that come up. Ease of doing business is not very high. There are a lot of, um, like, sometimes you don't even know what you don't know about, like, certain processes in the country. Um, it is a challenge to get the right kind of manpower into your organization. It is a challenge to grow. I mean, also, like, these are not like India specific challenges only, but I think in India, these challenges are a little bit more amplified.
But so makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, when we talk about strategy, we often talk about managing short-term wins with long-term vision. But in sectors like energy, where infrastructure investment is huge,
Yeah.
so how do you balance both of that?
Yeah. So that is a really good question because kind of to decarbonize the planet, you need a lot of people focus on the heavy infrastructure expenses, whether it's creating like windmills, solar power plants, big infra projects. But there's also another side to it, which is low capex, low infra. That improves efficiency of your existing resources that you're using, whether it's electricity, water, air, or anything else that you're using. So I think one of the sweet spots that people often overlook in this energy sector is energy efficiency. And it is this sector where you can think about, how do I use what I have in the most efficient way possible? Whether it's, recycling the water, or using your electricity more productively, and so on. So I think it does not have to be a conflict. There can be a middle ground um, in the sector.
Great. So I was actually reading about LSPEC and I found a very interesting term called power quality. Would you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So power quality is pretty much just the quality of the electrical power that any end user may get. So Is the power coming in like in your perfect sinusoidal waveform that you expected to come in? Are there any, dips or any challenges that affect this waveform? Or is there anything happening, let's say at your manufacturing plants, like equipments are failing, machines are shutting down, that makes you look into, okay, let me look at the source of my electricity. So power quality is an all-encompassing term, and Elspec is a leader in this space, this kind of segment of power quality. Yes.
So, like, we often think about energy as an all-compensating field, but if you were to give one advice to business leaders such which could improve their energy efficiency,
Yeah.
what would it be?
I would say the first thing you need to do is just start tracking, start measuring how much are you using. Do you have any meters in place to track your consumption? And because when you start tracking, you will realize that there's scope for improvement and to make your consumption lower and so forth. So start tracking, start measuring things.
Okay. It was such an interesting insight and perspective that you shared with us today. And I'm sure our viewers have a lot to take away from this session. But I would actually want to end this podcast with my favorite question. If you were to give one advice to upcoming strategists, what would it be?
I think the biggest advice I can think of to upcoming strategists, which I will give to myself first and foremost, is really take a step back to not get into the nitty gritty details and think about the larger mission slash vision that you're working towards and make everything fall back from that. So that would be the main advice, mostly for myself and of course anyone else too. Um, because I think everything should leave and lead from a higher purpose.
Right. On that note, are you somebody who plans a lot or are you someone who embraces as things come?
It's so funny, but in my life, I'm very type B, which is very spontaneous. I'll not plan too much. But in my work, I'm more type A. So I like to plan things in advance when it comes to work, when it comes to my schedule. So I'd say a bit of both.
Great, amazing. I think this was my favorite takeaway from the session. And I would really request our viewers to put their favorite takeaway from the session in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. And please also like the video. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.